Here are the 3 things that make the crispiest curly fry I have ever had. This is how to get restaurant quality curly fries at home. Not only is this for curly fries, but this method works for any shape of French fry to make it the crispiest fry ever. The only potato you should be using is Idaho russet potatoes. These are the only ones you should be using for French fries, by the way, because they contain the most starch. They make the fluffier inside and the crispier outside. Any other potato is just not gonna do it. And yes, I mentioned curly fries, so you're probably wondering, why am I cutting straight fries? I'm just doing this just to prove to you that you can do this with any shape of fry. And the classic one, of course, is always a solid choice. Now, why are curly fries a thing? And how do you make them? First off, it comes down to the equipment to make them. Just as when you make a waffle fry, you need a certain mandolin. Same thing with the curly fry. I'm using this little spiralizer attachment. So all you need is a spiralizer. They're fairly inexpensive unless you just want to shell out a little more cash and get a nice one like I have right here. Why am I putting French fries in the water? Why did I do this at work all the time? Why did I put French fries in water? We had a giant box on a rolling rack situation, and that would get full of fries, like 2 cases of fries. That's 100 pounds. And that would go in the walk-in overnight. The reason being is, for one, if you just put it on a tray raw, these potatoes are just gonna turn brown. They're gonna oxidize. On top of the oxidization, these French fries, they have lots of sugar content on the outsides of them. So what it can do is it can wash that off a little bit, so they're not gonna brown as much before they get nice and crispy. And then another reason is all the starch buildup on the outside of the potato. And that starch buildup, it's good, but it's going to make it stick together, and it's gonna make it a little less crispy when it sticks together. So if we wash off that excess starch, they're not gonna stick together, and it's gonna get a nice crispier exterior. So it is a good idea to soak your fries in advance to get that nicer, crispier exterior, especially when we're doing this 3-step method that I'm talking about here. Why are these a thing? Why are curly fries a thing? Love them or hate them, curly fries, they could be the best fry. Now the reason being is, look at that spiral. Doesn't that just scream fun? On top of it screaming fun, that is extra surface area, my friends. Extra surface area is gonna give us more opportunity for more crunch, and also more surface area to carry spices and seasoning. Do you get where I'm going at here? The places that you go to where you get curly fries, they're usually like a darker brown color, right? That's because they get seasoned. That is a process I'm gonna show you here today on top of this perfect crispy French fry process, but beautiful. Look at that. Peanut oil. Why use peanut oil? Why do expensive French fries use peanut oil? Well, the reason being is peanut oil has a very neutral flavor, and also on top of that, the smoke point is high. That doesn't make it expensive, but peanut oil is a little on the pricier side compared to your canolas and your vegetables. Now, I, on the other hand, like to go even more expensive sometimes and do beef tallow or duck fat just because I love animal fats. But in this use case scenario, we don't need to go too crazy. A good peanut oil will do, or if you want, you could use a rice bran oil, but this one is more widely available. This right here is the first fry. Now, why the reason for frying it once and then twice and then 3 times? The first time is for one very important reason. And that reason is to cook them through thoroughly. They need to be fully cooked through before we give them their final fry, because if you just fry them at a high heat, it's gonna be hard, kind of raw on the inside, and then basically burn on the outside by the time you're done with them. Also, I highly recommend you get yourself some cooking chopsticks of some sort. It's really handy, especially when frying, because we need to agitate these fries in the beginning stages so they don't stick together. These then need to be completely cooled off in the fridge. It helps if you prep these in advance, like a good amount, because you want to do a good amount because then it makes it worth it. Simple things like this, like even when you make kimchi, you don't make a little bit, you make a good amount so it lasts longer, because it does take a lot of work. When cooking with love, it takes time. Be patient. I know you might be saying, my gosh, Matt, these are just French fries. Why do you have to cook them 3 times? Put them in the fridge, cool them off, put them in the fridge, cool them off. It just takes time, trust me, but it makes it all the better. I just realized I never told you why we cool them off completely in the fridge. And that's just because it becomes mush if we will toss these hot fries into a hotter temperature oil. It just needs to build up that like exterior shell. That's it. Now, here's the reason for the second fry. We are frying this 3 times, by the way. Now, the reason for the second fry is to get this ready for the third fry. So what this is going to do, this is going to further gelatinize these potato starches and keep building that exterior. So we're going to be able to get more moisture out, thus making it more crispy. And if you're curious at what temperature I'm going at, I'm at about 320 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm not really going to go too far on this. I just want to cook it till it's like an almost leathery looking exterior. You'll start to notice as you feel it with your chopsticks or whatever it is that you're agitating with, that it starts to feel a little more tougher, like that exterior is starting to build. That's what we want. Basically, we're just getting like a sort of leatheriness to the potato exterior. It's gotten some oomph to it. It's sticking out of the tray now. We've actually got it popping up a bit. We've got some texture, we've got some voluptuousness going on, while as opposed to currently on this tray, it's a little more flat and it's a little more like just soft. We're building that exterior shell, which is preparing it for the third and final fry. You also might be asking, hey, these fries are not very dark colored like you mentioned. Well, yes, there is a process that comes to get that secret color and that secret flavor and zestiness that the fries have usually when you buy curly fries at a fast food joint. That's the really crucial process I'm going to show you right now while these are cooling down. Hey, we're on the floor now. Welcome to my brief tutorial on making my fry dredge. Go ahead and soak it all in. It took me a while to label all these guys, and I'm loving it in the new place, by the way. So it's gonna contain all the spices I'm listing, and it's also going to contain a leavening agent. And for this one, it's gonna be baking powder. Now, these are my spices here. It's just a simple dredge. I'm going to be utilizing paprika, onion powder, and 4 types of peppercorn, as well as salt. And then potato starch is going to be the starch that is binding everything together. You can go ahead and use like some cornstarch or some flour if you like, but I think potato starch is more fitting, especially for potato French fries, and it's just lighter. Now, this is what's going to happen. The reason why I'm using baking powder is because it's a leavening agent. So what's going to do, it's going to create air bubbles in this dredge, which is going to create a crispier exterior. So on top of this triple fry method, the beauty with the curly fries is they usually get a dredge, and this dredge makes fries crispier already. So I don't know if anyone's tried a triple fry method with these fries before, but I think it's going to result in a very nice crisp French fry. And there we go, my friends. There is a curly fry dredge for you. That's just about the crispiest curly fry I've ever had.